Hello Ghana, hello world. You're welcome to another exciting episode of your favorite show, She Is, the show that empowers women all over the world to take on the world and believe in their dreams despite whatever challenge that they go through. The show is proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. For every wedding, all kinds of events, call Smile GH on 024 0081636 or 0261089 You can also follow them on all social media at SmileGH Photography. The show is also supported by Templessy Court. Templessy Court is a home away from home. If you want a place to relax with the family on a normal day, on a normal weekend, Templessy is the right place to be. Templessy Court is located inside Jolu, right opposite the Embassy of Equatorial Guinea. You can contact Templessy Court on 030-2791-815 or 0244-292520. You can also follow them on all social media at Templessy Court. My name is Richmond Opong Frimpong. After the break, we'll introduce our guest. Welcome back. Today on the show, we have a fashion designer. She goes by the name Miss Elizabeth Nyarkotey Quao. Miss Quao, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel being on the show today?
I feel excited.
Yes.
Empowered, of course. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay, it's an honor having you on the show.
Thank you.
Because I knew
pleasure.
a fashion designer was coming to the show. You see how I'm looking?
I can see that you're looking dashing.
On point, right?
Very on point.
Okay, so can you take us through growing up for you? Where did you grow up? Where did you live? Where are you from?
Okay, thank you. I'm from the Eastern region, Somanya, but I never lived there. I lived with my grandmother in Kotobabi, and I schooled the youngsters from kindergarten to JHS.
And you were DB, the youngsters?
No. Well, you can say that, but I was in the youngsters from kindergarten all the way through to JHS, and then I moved to Laboni for a year, and then I moved to Christian High, Ghana Christian International High School. That's at Dodoa.
So you are a DB?
Is that what you want to call it?
Why did you move from Laboni to...
So it's a series of unfortunate events. Okay. I actually wanted to go to Achimota Secondary, but I was given a course I wasn't interested in. So I had to while away the time while my parents worked on Achimota for me. Okay. So the next available...
protocol.
Kind of. So the next available option was Laboni at the time. So I went there for a year and I moved to Ghana Christian International High School. So when you moved to
Ghana Christian, did you start from...
Yes, I had to start all over again.
What course did you read?
In Laboni.
Yes.
In Laboni General Arts, in Christian High General Arts.
Okay, so you wanted to read General Arts from beginning?
I didn't, but Christian High doesn't offer visual arts or anything related to my course. Okay. So I just had to go for something that was quite close to what I wanted to do. Okay.
Growing up, who did you look up to? Who did you want to become?
My mom.
Why your mom?
My mom is very stylish, and she's always on point, no matter the occasion. If it's family meetings, if it's whatever it is, she's always on point. She's eloquent.
Then I guess you can't wear anything for a family meeting.
Not at all. At age 12, 13, if we're going to church and I didn't put on a lipstick, I was in trouble. So why are you looking like this? You need to, so you always have to look nice. And it was something I was interested in. I was like, okay. So I came to the right place. Mom. Yeah. So that's just how it started.
Was your mom you looked up to?
Yeah, it was my mom I looked up to. She's very strong. And I look up to that too.
Beginning, like from what you are saying, the fashion sense came from childhood.
Yeah.
So studying general arts, what did you major in?
It was literature, history, French, and Christian religious studies.
And you think it helped?
It helped.
Okay, so from Christian High, where did you go to?
From Christian High, I went to BluCrest.
Okay, so at BluCrest, what do you study?
Fashion design and marketing.
Fashion design and marketing?
Yes.
Okay, so why did you decide to follow your dream? Why did you decide to do the fashion? Okay,
so it's something I've always loved. Unknowingly, when I was growing up, I used to pick my mom's fabrics. They have these 6 yards, all those fabrics in their suitcases. So I steal them, find thread and needle, put things together. When I see a picture, I used to love cartoons. So when I see a picture on the TV, I pick up the fabric.
What was your favorite cartoon character?
Barbie.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Now I don't like it, but I really used to love animations and cartoons and everything, and I drew inspiration from them a lot. So I used to pick up the fabrics and make garments out of it. And my mommy would tell me, please, when you go to church, don't dance too hard. Because she was afraid it will fall off. It was all done by the hand, no machine at that time. And I could make a full garment as at that time.
And then you wear them to church?
I wear them to church.
So that was why she was afraid?
She was afraid.
Okay, she allowed you to actually do that?
When she saw them, she was like, that's my fabric. I was like, but it's already done, so there's nothing you can do. And I was very active at church, so she was always afraid that, it was going to fall off and all of that. So I realized this was something I really loved, but I feared because I knew some people who wanted to veer into that aspect and they were not allowed to by their parents. So for some time, I didn't talk about it, but they saw it in me. So I think that's just it. I loved everything about fashion. I didn't even know fashion as I do now, but I just knew you had to look nice. I just knew you had to dress in a certain way. I just knew this color would match with that. So why not?
Okay, so how was the support from family when you decided, okay, I'm going to BluCrest?
Massive.
I want to do fashion?
It was massive.
From your
I
dad,
wasn't
from
expecting
your
it. So when I was done with Christian High, I went to them. I told them that I'm done. So what do you want me to do? I actually wanted to go into journalism.
Why journalism?
I love to talk.
Okay.
That was just the reason. There was nothing else. I just love to talk. I'm a talkative. So I told them that, okay, I don't mind if you want me to go into journalism. But I was like, but how about the fashion? It's like, okay, yeah. Like, okay, I don't mind too. Like that, I would really love to do that. I'm like, okay, it's fine. What school would you love to? Have you checked out any schools yet? At the time, I knew quite a few of them, and I mentioned quite a few. And they did their own research and found the best for me. Okay. So yeah, that was BluCrest.
She believed she was a talkative and so she could veer into journalism, but her parents thought, no, you're good at fashion, so they found the best for her. After the break, we'll continue the interview. Welcome back. You're still watching She Is Show, and you can follow us on all our social media platforms at She Is Show. Okay, Ms. Quao, before we're going, you're talking about the fact that your daddy decided that you are good at fashion, so you should...
Well, he didn't decide for me.
Okay.
He just took it for me. It was something I wanted to do, but I wasn't so sure how they were going to take it. So I was reluctant. But he just confirmed the fact that I could go into fashion design. Okay,
so now you got to BluCrest University.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
At the beginning, it was very fun and exciting. It is still fun, but as you go higher, you face more roadblocks. Yes. And I just had to fit in the system. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was going to face. I just wanted to do fashion. I just wanted to make clothes. But when I got in there, I realized that it's not just about making clothes. It's far more than that. So I had to psych myself because it was passion driven. Yes. So I had to stay on course and make sure that
when was the first time you sewed a dress? What was your first design?
Official design or just making a dress?
Okay, when first did you make a dress?
I think I was 10.
Okay.
For myself and for my Barbie doll.
Okay, this Barbie doll, you still have the Barbie doll?
I don't. Okay. But I think I was 10 at the time. Okay.
And then when did you officially make a dress?
My second year in school.
Okay, which was when?
Which was 2 years ago.
Oh, so you are still in school?
Yeah, I'm still in school. I'm in my final year.
Oh, okay, so you are going to click to graduate.
Yeah.
It's rather unfortunate.
Yeah. But
okay, so you have started your own designs, and then you have clients, I guess.
Yes, I do have clients.
What would you say your brand defines? Who do you want to design for? Who are the people you design clothes for?
Okay. People say they want to design for the confident. I want to design to make people confident.
Okay.
So I make sure that what I make would make you feel good about yourself. If you're coming with doubts that oh, my waist is too small, or I have big stomach, I'd make sure that I make something that will make you feel good about the big stomach that you have. Because unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it, even though you can work out and all of that. But I make sure that I design to make people feel good about themselves, bring out the beauty in them, the character in them as well. So that's basically it.
There was this thing I saw on social media where a
Okay.
designer actually, a client sent a design
Okay.
to the designer
Okay.
and said, I wanted this particular dress. But it came out differently and it looked so funny on the person.
Okay.
What is it about the figure of a person, the person you are designing for, and the particular design the person wants?
Okay, so when it comes to figures, there are quite a lot of them. There are actually 4 main figures. There's the apple shape, there's the hourglass and all of that. Not every design style suits your body type. So as a designer, you should be able to differentiate between the design your client brought and her body shape. Sometimes they do not understand because that's exactly what they want. But you need to be able to mold it in such a way that at the end of the day, she still has what she's looking for, but it suits her.
Okay.
So I get people bringing me dresses that hourglass shaped women have worn,
But
and they are nowhere near that.
Okay.
Okay, they are pear shaped. And you need to make it to, so you just need to talk to the person that this is it. You don't offend them in any way, but make them understand that if this is what you're wearing. The thing about me is, if I talk to you to some extent and you don't want to agree with me, and I know at the end of the day, whatever I'm making for you wouldn't send my name out there in a good way, I don't do it. Because it's my brand I'm trying to protect.
Yes, exactly.
So I wouldn't have pity on you to diminish my brand. So I make sure that everything is in line.
You've heard it from a fashion designer. For the designers out there who do not talk to their clients before making the dresses for them, you are warned. What is it about brand that you really love? What is it about protecting the brand that is so important to you?
It is who you are. Your brand is you. So if people don't know you as a designer, you go somewhere, and I'm not trying to blow my own horns, but sometimes I get some people like, do you do fashion or something? That's why.
They look
They look at me, and so I make sure that even if I'm going out to buy something, I'm looking good. Not all dressed up, but so your brand is who you are, is what you want people to
Like
see
the
you.
saying goes, dress the way you want to be addressed.
Exactly. So if you're going out and saying this is my brand, they shouldn't see the brand and see a different person.
Okay.
If you're going for style, you should be stylish. If you're going for extravagant, you should be extravagant. So it goes hand in hand with that.
What
So
is
I like
the
them.
name of your brand? What is
I'm actually using my name now,
okay.
so which is Liz Quao. Yeah, so Liz and then Quao, Liz Quao. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's
How has social media helped your brand?
exposure.
Okay.
Number one, because you can't move from house to house, to tell them I sew. I used to do that, not house to house, but anyone I meet, I say, oh, I made this dress myself. Would you want to wear it? Or
How difficult was that?
Sometimes it was embarrassing because you tell them like, okay, because they know they have their seamstresses at home waiting for them, and they think I'm small. They want to see all grown with the car and before they agree with me that I can make good clothes. So it was quite embarrassing sometimes. Sometimes other people were like, okay, let me try you out. And I made sure I never disappointed them. So that's how
So you use
the whole
social
thing.
media and
Yes, I use social media, Instagram especially. I post my pictures. Most of them are me wearing them. So I make clothes for myself, I wear them. My few friends around who are models, I get them to come on board, dress them up, and then make shoots, 1 or 2 of them, and then post them out there and make people know that these are available. So, and it's
these
helping.
are some of Liz Quao's designs, as you can see on your screen. Okay, and like you were saying, you use some of your friends who are models.
Yeah.
Have you ever modeled for your brand before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I do most of the modeling myself.
So you've done fashion shows?
Yes, I have done
Okay,
fashion
when was
shows.
your first fashion show?
My first fashion show was my first year university.
Okay. Level
It was
100,
yes.
You're allowed to do that?
Yeah. It's actually compulsory. It's an exam
Okay.
for every fashion student. So whatever you've learned throughout the semester, you put it into a reality. So every technique you've learned, you need to come up with your own designs. They approve of it, and then they give you a platform to showcase your garments.
Okay.
So that was my very first fashion show. That was in first
and then
year.
how many after
So
that?
every semester, actually, every semester you showcase your garments. We had a collaboration with what are they called? It was this fashion house which were all also doing their own fashion show. So we just collaborated with them, and then Accra Fashion Week. That's the
Okay,
name.
Accra
Yeah,
Fashion Week.
BluCrest collaborated with them, and then we showcased our garments on
Do you
there.
think the fashion industry in Ghana is evolving?
Yes, I think it
And are
is.
people accepting fashion? Are people fashionable?
It is, but there's still more room for improvement. It is going high, and people do not, the acceptance is a 50-50,
Okay.
because sometimes you come up with something different and they're like, this is not what we know. And it takes quite a long time for them to come to the realization that, okay, this is what we have on the table. We have no choice than to take it. So you realize that when there are trends, it starts up there, I mean Western countries, it's very rapid there than it is in Ghana. Because in Ghana, you see something, when bandana came up,
Yeah.
people were shying away from bandana. If you put on a bandana, they see you as ragged or ghetto. But now, it's stylish. You can,
Very stylish.
ladies wear weaves and tie bandanas and with their dark shades. It's very beautiful, I think. So it's coming up. We still need to study. We still need to learn more. We need to be consistent.
Yeah.
We really need to be, that's one problem I have realized with our fashion industry. We need to be consistent. Once we are there, we feel like, that's it. Okay, so now I have about 1,000 clients. What else do I need? There are more out there. So you still need to keep pushing.
Yes,
You still need to keep learning. You don't finish learning fashion. Fashion is always evolving. So you need to keep yourself abreast with everything that comes up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to learn, and then you need to be consistent, because consistency will determine your endurance in the business world.
Yeah.
We'll continue after the break. Welcome back. Let's not forget the show is sponsored by Smile GH Photography and Templessy Court. And today on the show, our guest is a fashion designer, and she goes by the name Miss Elizabeth Nyarkotey Quao. Okay, Miss Elizabeth,
Yeah.
is the fashion business lucrative?
Very lucrative if you do it well.
How lucrative is it? Are you cashing out?
You should be cashing out
Are
if
you
you're.
cashing out?
I am to some extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say massively, because one thing I've realized is you need to know yourself in this business and know the pace at which you can make money and the pace at which you are quite comfortable. It's not always about the comfort, but you need to realize that. I realized that in school, the pressure and working was quite, so I realized my grades were not falling, but,
Yeah. It wasn't as you
Wha-
expected.
Exactly, because I had to spend time making clothes when I had assignments to do, So I had to weigh the options. Do you want to finish with your education before you concentrate on the business? You want to do it alongside the business? Do you want to? So I had to put all those questions down, and I realized what was best for me,
Which was
to concentrate on my education, even though I'm working. But it's not as much as I would when I'm done with school, obviously. So yes, it's lucrative.
It's very lucrative.
Yes.
Your parents are so proud of you.
Very, very proud
Have you
of
done
me.
anything for your mom?
My mom wears my clothes.
Wow.
Yeah, most of them.
Wow. So which local designers have you collaborated with before?
I have collaborated with Arisa Couture.
Okay.
Yeah, I studied under her for a while I was in school. If I had some free days, I go to her, and she actually helped me with one of my fashion shows and with hers as well. So
Okay,
with
so
her,
the
and then
collaboration is how do you?
so the collaboration is sometimes she brings up the idea, I make the clothes, or she makes some of the clothes, I make some of the clothes. At the end of the day, it's like a partnership. So whatever comes out of it is for us, not for just the individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would want you to give us some fashion tips, since you are
Okay.
a fashion designer.
Okay.
As a young man, look at my fine face.
Yes.
How should I project myself? What should I wear to work? What should I wear to when I'm having a get together with friends? What should I wear to the? You get me? So,
Yes. So I think the very basics of dressing or putting up an entire clothing is, first of all, you need to know the rules. The rules are always broken, but you need to know the standard rules. You're going to work, of course you wouldn't wear a smock. Unless these days, on Fridays, we wear the African prints and all of this, but a typical corporate setting, no. If you're going to a party, something like what you're wearing, with shorts, rolled up sleeves, it's fine. With some specs, you're good to go. If you're going to church, obviously tucked in, unless you're wearing the African print attire that is trending now, you need to know. But as much as you need to know the rules, know yourself.
yes, exactly.
You do not have to compulsorily follow the rules. Especially, so let's put the corporate aside, because that's you're working for somebody, so you don't have an option. If you're going for a party, it is you. Even if there's a color code or a dress code or anything like that, it is you. Make sure that you're wearing something you feel good in. That's just one of the things that I always talk about. Look good in what you wear. If you are not looking good, do not
But
wear
I'm going
it.
for a party and I think I'll look good in a long trousers and then some long sleeve and a suit.
Isn't that
the
better
occasion?
than getting to the party and sitting all idle doing nothing? Then why did you go for the party?
Okay.
So that is it about the breaking rules. I do not advise that you wear outrageous clothing to certain occasions.
Like a lady going for a party and wearing kaba and sleeves.
Of course not.
Okay.
If you're doing that, it means you are not in the world with us. We're in the 21st century. You should know
But
what is.
that is what they feel comfortable
Unfortunately,
with, what you're saying.
their level of knowledge with fashion is very,
Okay.
on a
Very
certain,
low.
yeah. Because you should know that you don't wear that to a party. If you've watched movies, okay, fine. You haven't seen fashion magazines. You haven't heard any fashion tip from anywhere. You know that you go to church and you see this. It's just
Maybe
the
they
same
want
as
to be
party.
different.
No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. But like I said, in as much as you are following the rules, you know that you need to wear this to work, you need to wear this to church. Be yourself.
Okay.
Wear something you're most comfortable with. And that's like a whole job altogether. Studying yourself is a lot of work because you need to know what colors and what styles blend with your personality. You need to know all of those things before stepping out.
I want to ask a personal question.
Please do.
Why do most designers delay and,
This question.
you've told me, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to get your design, your clothes
Yeah.
ready for maybe tomorrow. And then you put your phones off. Why do you do that? Why do most designers
Maybe
do
it's ECG. Okay, on a more serious note, I think most of them, you just need to be truthful. If you can't do it, don't tell them you can't do it. I've done it once or twice, but from the beginning, because this was what I really wanted to do, I had to make sure I was doing it right.
Okay.
Because now the system is really saturated. Fashion designers are everywhere. You get out of your house, there's a shop, the woman is making clothes for somebody. So you need to do something that person isn't doing.
Okay.
And like you said, a lot of them are disappointing clients day in, day out. Your garment will be ready tomorrow. Tomorrow you call me, oh, ECG took my light. Oh. Tomorrow you call me, my thread got finished. Oh. I have a problem. No.
Excuses.
No. Those excuses do not help you. Unless there is a really tangible reason why you couldn't do it. But I feel like if there is, you need to let the client know beforehand. Because for all you know, the person is wearing it to like some sharp occasion.
Exactly.
And then in the morning, I'm coming for my clothes. Oh, it's not ready. Oh. How do you want the person to feel? And you're sitting there saying my brand is consistent. Then what is the consistency in your brand?
Now, what is the difference between a tailor and a fashion designer?
Okay. So a fashion designer, a tailor makes custom-made garments. Okay.
By custom made, you mean?
Custom-made, I mean, Bromon.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a tailor. But he can also be a fashion designer because he designs.
Okay.
He has the concept there. A tailor can only be, so assuming you're someone who sews, I come to you with a design, conceptualize, everything is on paper and I give it to you. You're just producing the clothes.
Okay, like a picture. Maybe I've seen this design on somebody, I like it, so I want the same thing.
Yeah, but a designer starts from the scratch. I see your shirt, I'm inspired, I like the colors, I put it on paper. Not every designer sketches, but at least you should be able to do something. I put it on paper, I think thoroughly to know what fabrics blend. That is a designer. The whole process is a fashion designer. So you are not a fashion designer if you're just sitting at home and people are bringing you calendars with styles on them. You are not a fashion designer.
Exactly. You have heard it for yourself.
Yeah.
You are not a fashion designer if they just bring you calendars and then
Yeah.
you design from them.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we want you to do something for us.
Okay.
We were talking about you've modeled for your garments before.
Yeah.
And so we believe that as a fashion designer you should know how to model. So
Are you going to make me model?
yes, we want you to do
Interesting.
give us some catwalk.
Can we pass?
No, we can't pass. Okay, so our guest is about to model for us. Let's go.
Hey, this one is, where do
So
I?
you just go this way.
I go this way and then, so I believe, I'm not a professional model, right? But I believe there are certain things, as a designer, if I want someone to model my clothes, I need people to know certain details of the clothes. So like what I'm wearing, for instance, is a shift dress, which has pockets. So as you're modeling, you need to be able to put your hands in there, take it out, turn, because there's a zipper at the back,
Okay.
and then you move back.
So it's just to show the designs.
Yeah,
what the
basically.
dress-
It's not how pretty you're looking
Oh, okay.
facially. It is about the dress.
I thought they just go for the face.
There are shoots for that,
Okay.
and there are ones for the garments as
So one
well.
more time,
Okay.
how to model the dress. Okay, so let's call designs. Exactly. All right.
Yeah,
thank
so-
you so much.
So that's it.
I would have been so surprised if you didn't know how to model.
Oh, come on. Come on. At least I
Okay.
know a little.
Now, is it only about the dress that the model has to, showcase? What about the makeup? Should the makeup also be on point? Should it be too much?
The model shouldn't look terrible,
Okay.
but if you want to portray your designs, the masterpiece should be the design.
Okay.
You don't need to put so much concentration on the face. Just clear some blemishes, highlight a few parts of the face, and you're good to go. Yeah, that's why most of the time, it's either your hair is down. They don't really come up with all those, unless you are modeling for hair and makeup.
Okay.
But if you're modeling for a dress, you need to make sure that every feature of the dress the designer wants to portray is out there.
The center shouldn't be on the
On
face.
no. So
Okay.
if you most of dresses we wear, the zippers are at the back. So a designer can decide to put it at the side. She wants everybody to know that mine is different. It's not at the back. But if you walk with your hands close to your sides, no one sees the zipper.
Okay.
Not the invisible ones though, the ones that are meant to be seen. You need to hold your waist in a form that will make people see that, oh, there's something there. So even if they don't have a close look at it, that is when you have the chance to speak to them in a different way on your social media, if you have interviews, if you meet them one-on-one. They're like, oh, I saw this dress. I thought I saw a zipper. Oh, yeah, we still have them. Then you take it from
So
there.
those kind of
So-
features are the ones that attract people to.
Yes.
Because if you focus on the
Yes.
face, then
Yes.
there's nothing you're
Yeah.
doing. How difficult is fashion designing?
It becomes easy. It is difficult, but it becomes easy. It only becomes easy when you psych your mind. Because I have thought about quitting before.
What started
I was
that?
stressed out. And from the beginning, I was in a hurry. I saw all the pistis and the simabrews and the, Jabasewers. I was like, I want to get there so bad. So I was rushing. I was running beyond my pace. And I realized it wasn't getting me anywhere. So I thought, okay, then it's not for me. Let me just do something else. It didn't get to the meta stage though, but it just got to a point where I had to sit down and rethink. This is what you want to do. Take your time. So it's quite difficult, especially for me when I'm in school and you have other things coming in, assignments here and there. People are placing orders. They're waiting for you to get done. And in school, when I was in second year, I started making clothes for people. And it was quite difficult for me because I didn't know a lot of things. And people came to me with killer designs. Like, how am I supposed to do this?
I believe you're in school, you are learning, so you
How
should be.
how on earth am I supposed to do? So what I did was sometimes I go on YouTube, maybe check a few designs that are related to that, and then I try to do it. Other times I go to people who have gone through the same process. I ask them and they help me. So you need to be determined. If
Now,
not, you fall out.
How has this whole pandemic affected the fashion industry? As for you as a person, how
Okay.
has it affected you, and what are you doing to, pass through it or something?
Yeah, for me, it hasn't affected me so much
Okay.
because I was just about finishing school. So I was mainly concentrating on my projects and my school work and other things. But I mean, as much as it hasn't, it has, because if not for this whole pandemic, I'm sure we would have been producing more garments and, selling out. But we pray it passes soon so that we get back onto business.
Now,
yeah.
what we see that most fashion designers are now into the business of producing nose mask. Are you also have you started that as well?
With my family, not out there.
Okay.
But yeah, I plan
Do you
to
believe it's
get
the
it
best
out there.
that all fashion designers or all like tailors out there are doing that, considering the health implications
yeah.
of it? They haven't tested for the virus, and then they are just because they feel it is time to make money.
Yeah, it would have been the best to for every designer to produce nose mask and all of that. But considering the health risk attached to even the nose masks they are producing, because some of them are just clothes and they do not protect you from anything at all. So I feel they should re-strategize and make sure they produce, and we make sure we produce, standardized nose masks for
What material is right for the production of the
um
nose mask?
you need to get the filter in there.
Okay.
The filter must be in there. And then if you want to use the cloths, that's okay. But you need to make sure that the filter in there is washable and reusable.
Ms. Quao, tell us some of your biggest clients. Who are those that you've sewn for that are so big in the industry? Popular people.
In the fashion industry, nobody. But I'm into music.
Okay. You sing.
Yes, I am. Let's go. Yes, I sing.
Okay.
I'm into music. So most of my productions go towards that side. Even though I plan on concentrating on the celebrities and the other, TV.
So you design for the musicians.
Yes. Sometimes when they're going on shows, the choir, I make
Okay.
those for them. So I wouldn't be able to point out this TV presenter or so.
Okay.
But you should look out for that. Definitely.
Now, I'm sure when you were starting, somebody told you can't do it, it's not right for you. How did you take that, and what really motivated you to say, no, this is what I want?
Okay, this is a very interesting question because it got me into a fight. I was
You beat the person, right?
not that one.
But you beat the person with your mouth, right?
Yes.
Okay, you won.
Yes. Growing up, I wasn't too confident.
Okay.
I wasn't shy, but I wasn't too confident. I don't know what exactly it was, but I was always afraid to go out with something I could do. And I managed to overcome that. It was a tough journey for me. I did it all by myself, in Jesus Christ. And once I got there, I told myself I'm never going back. And so I met people who told me, this fashion, you're just going to sew. Where would you even get the shop? They tell you things, they tell you the reality. Because once you're done with school, you need a lot of money to set up, get the shop that you want to get if you want to make a fashion house. This gentleman, and we're having a very casual conversation about what I do, what he does. We're trying to get to know each other. And I told him I was into fashion and design. I was like, Antupa Made. It's like, obviously, yes, I saw. Hey, that's what this one day. Me, all the people I know who did fashion design, Mama Tonsio Mo. Like, literally falling into water. They are nowhere to be found. So how sure are you can do this? I think you just find something to do. Because if you do accounting,
something for him.
he felt if I did accounting, at the end of the day, I get an office to sit in. But a shop wasn't conk for me. It wasn't there waiting for me. I had to work towards it. And he didn't believe I could go through that process of work to get myself that. So he told me point blank, I think you should stop. It won't help you. Because you make clothes for them. See, these days, fashion designers are menu. I mean, he went on and on and on and on. I was like,
Pause.
It's okay. Just stop right there. And I was getting angry because I knew where I was coming from. I knew how well I had built up my confidence to be able to tell people, no, this is what I want to do. And this person comes to me and talks, you know. So I was honestly angry. And I told him it's okay, end of conversation. So I just got up and left. I actually blocked him. I didn't want any negative, nothing around me. So
and that really got to you.
It did. It did. It was one of the conversations I've had with people that really, really got to me.
How did you overcome it?
There was nothing to overcome because I'd already made up my mind. Okay. So at that point, there was nothing to... if it was from the beginning, then I would have sat back and said, I think I really shouldn't. But this time, I knew what I was going for. I knew what I was going for. And I knew I had prayed. And, you know, all the plans were in, all the plans were in place. So I just needed to follow the trend and everything was going to be fine with me.
Okay, now your advice to ladies who want to start a business like yours, I mean, who want to go into fashion designing, but your friends are like, no, you can't do it. They've been ridiculed and they don't even believe in themselves. What would be your advice to them? You do not
need to listen to them. Don't listen to anybody. If that is what you want to do, it is your passion, go for it. They might come with, this person did it and wasn't able to do it. So what makes you think you can? Sit down and think. Go step by step. If it is nose mask you want to do, just start doing it. If it's just shirts you want to do, people are making gowns. Don't look at them. They are not your competition. You are competing with yourself to become better in what you do. So you need to strategize. Do not listen to anybody. People will tell you all sorts of things to discourage you. I met an old teacher in a taxi, and she asked what course I was studying in school, and I told her it was fashion design and marketing. She was like, "Oh, Elizabeth, why? All these school fees your parents have paid.
How did you feel when she said that?
I just smiled because I knew what I was going for. I knew what I was doing, and I knew where I could get with that. So I smiled, but I was like, really? I wasn't expecting you. I thought you were going to do some science or some. Oh, but is it okay? Are you managing? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And you know, the funny thing is, just few weeks or months after that, my sister got married, and I made some of her clothes, and she was there, and she heard I made them. You should see her face. She was like,
if I were you, I would have gone, Madam, I made that, like, so that she would know. Yes.
She heard enough from me, and I'm glad she heard enough from me. Wow. She heard it from other people that, oh, her sister made that. Like, are you serious? So if I had listened to her, if I had thought twice about that, because she was once my teacher. So, hey, my teacher thinks I shouldn't do this. I think I shouldn't really do this. Then I wouldn't be here today. So I think you shouldn't listen to them. There are advice that come that you need to think twice about them, no matter who is coming from.
Now, from what you are saying, she might be a mother to, you know, whoever she has children. Yeah. And so what do you think about parents who think that, okay, you as a child, you know, I want to do fashion, but then your mother feels that you are talkative, so you can be a journalist, and then they would force you into doing journalism, and then you end up being something else. Yeah. What do you think should be the advice for such parents?
They should know that we're in a different age. Okay. doesn't mean your children should veer away from the principles of life. But they should understand. African parents are quite, if it's kaba and sleeves, it's kaba and sleeves. If you make a slit somewhere, no, this is not what they should grow with us. And as a child, you should be able to convince them. Most parents think fashion design is all about the exposing your bodies, the exposure and everything, but it's not all about that. It's because of the shows we watch. Sometimes they're in bikinis and all of those things. So they think that, no, I wouldn't want my child to do that. You should be able to tell them that this is what it's about. That is why it's important to keep them close to yourself. If you have very attentive parents who listen to your ideas and everything, just let them know. That's what I did. After my daddy agreed that I should go into fashion, I sat down with them. And my mommy wasn't too comfortable. Like, hey, don't go and do this. Are you sure? Do something else. You can decide to go back into the fashion. I was like, no, this is what it's about. So I had to bring down videos of, decent shows. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. Then you make clothes for me, So it started from there. And then now they know that I'm doing something good. So they are not disappointed. So in as much as we expect our parents to go with us, we should make sure to do it right so that they do not get...
Decent.
Yeah, it should be decent. Should be
Ms.
very
Quao,
decent.
your final words.
Okay, so I want to talk to those who are now starting,
Okay.
like from the scratch. First of all, do not listen to anybody. If you want to do it, do it. Find your pace and keep pushing. It's not going to happen overnight. It is not going to... I had my very first official dress made with just a phone call. It was not through my Instagram. It was not through my Facebook. It was not through anybody. Just a phone call. And it was even a wrong call. She called and says, is this... She was mentioning someone else's name. I was like, no, that's not me. So, okay. Then I took that opportunity. I was like, oh, but I make... Then I started going and said, oh, really? Where do you live? And I still make clothes for her till date. So it's a step at a time. Don't go to places you are not meant to go. Don't waste your money on unnecessary things. Invest into it. This lockdown is actually a period for us to sit back and gather more momentum to come back strong. But if you are sleeping on your talents, then I'm sorry. You need to keep learning more skills. So the young ladies and the young men out there, you need to stay determined. Everything you're doing, determined. Consistency. You don't make good clothes for a month, you get the money you want and you're laid back. You need to continue producing and make sure you're learning new things that suit the 21st century. So I think consistency, patience, and self-love is also one of the things they should consider.
Wow. So our guest has said it all. Consistency, patience, and self-love is all that you need to move on in that career that you so much are passionate about. After the break, you get to know how smart our guest is on the Smartness Level segment. Welcome back to one of the favorite segments most people talk about. Hello, Ms. Quao.
Hi.
How smart are you? When you were in school, from 1st to 10, what would you say?
1st to 10, pa. From the bottom or...
1st to 10. Or you were not there?
1st to 10, my mom is 9.
Now do 9. Oh. 9 doesn't worry you.
Because, not cost them in pay. I wasn't interested, but in fashion,
you like it.
fashion
like
is, you can ask my
so
lecturers.
on this segment,
yeah.
you answer 3 questions.
Okay.
And then, if you're able to answer all, we'll give you something. If you are not, you go home like that. So you pack your things and pass here. Okay, so your first question.
Okay. Possible answers?
No possible
answers. Okay, that's
so
right.
your first question.
Sure.
Richmond's father has 3 sons.
Okay.
There is 30. There is 20. Who's the last son?
Richmond.
Hey. No, you've heard this question somewhere before.
Richmond.
You are smart. You are smart.
Okay.
And also the ninth.
So that's 2, eh? That's second.
Okay.
So let's
there.
move to first.
Okay. So your second question.
Okay.
You wake up one morning and then in front of your door, your cock has laid 4 eggs. So you pick those 4 up and then you go to the kitchen. You go there and you see that there are extra 3 eggs that your cock has laid. How many eggs do you have?
Cocks don't lay eggs.
Hey! This lady, why? You really You are really smart.
I came for you.
Okay,
Cocks don't lay eggs.
Your final
Okay.
question.
This should be tough.
Your final question.
Okay.
Okay. There are 12 fish in a sea. There are 12 fish in a sea. And then 6 of them drown. How many is left?
Fishes don't drown.
Hey! No. I won't do.
Fishes don't drown.
Okay,
Fishes don't
thank you so
drown.
much.
You're
You are so
welcome.
smart.
Thank you for having me.
She's a fashion designer. She's
Yeah.
not a tailor. Okay, so
Tailors are not bad though. Don't get me wrong.
No, but
Please.
some of them are not smart.
Well, we'll take that.
Thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
on the show. We are
Thank
so
you
grateful.
for
And so
having
when
me.
you
It's
come
my
on the show,
pleasure.
we do not let you go just like that. So we have
Okay.
something special
Is it a check?
Check. The question is, you couldn't answer. all.
Eh.
Okay, so this is what we have for you. You help me unwrap it.
Oh. You know, that's one of my favorite pictures.
One of her favorite pictures. We go here.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so let's unwrap
this is a
this
strong
together. But the lady is smart. What is that? Should have got one wrong.
I would have missed this beautiful piece.
Aw.
What?
So it says, she is show appreciates you. Thank you for being an inspiration.
Thank
Elizabeth
you.
Nyarkotey
Thank you.
Quao.
Thank
We're so
you.
grateful.
Thank you very
honored and
much.
appreciated.
Thank you very, very much. This is beautiful.
We are glad you love it.
Thank you. So I
On
get to
that
take it
note-
home, right?
What?
I get to take it home.
Yeah. No, maybe after a week you can come for it. On that
Thank
note,
you.
we end another exciting and inspirational episode of She Is, the show that empowers women to take on the world despite whatever challenge that they have been through. Let's not forget that the show is sponsored by Smile GH Photography for all your weddings and any event at all. Contact Smile GH on 024 0081636 or 026 1089346. The show is also supported by Templacy Court. Templacy is a home away from home. If you want a place to chillax with the family, you know, boys, girls, that kind of outing, Templacy is the right place to be. You can contact Templacy Court on 030 2791815 or 0244 292520. My name is Richmond Okon Frimpong. Catch you next week.